This conference will now be recorded.
Gives me an immense pleasure to introduce our today's speaker, Dr. Samir Golab sir, to share his views and knowledge on Srila Paricharya. So I take this an opportunity to welcome Dr. Samir Golab sir. Sir has completed his BMS from Kamladevi Uttal Punarvasari Mahavidyalaya in 1994. Sir has completed his MS in Prasutantra Institute at the Gangadhar Shastri Pune Hybrid Mahavidyalaya, Nagar. Sir is recently pursuing his MD, his PhD at YMT Ayurvedic Medical College under Dr. Mangesh Patil sir. Sir is recently working as an associate professor at SMBT Ayurvedic Medical College, Nashik. Sir is also PG guide and examiner. Sir has got vast teaching experience of more than 13 years. Sir was lecturer at KC Ajmer Ayurved Mahavidyalaya, Dubai from 2009 to 2016, and from 2016 he is working as an associate professor at SMBT Elective Nashik till date. Sir is also founder member and national committee member of Kashyapi Ayurved Sriyo Prasiddhantra Foundation. Sir is also ex-secretary and life member of NIMA Thane. Sir is also member of PMP and various medical associations. Sir has published many scientific papers in national and international journals. Sir has been awarded with various awards, one of which is from the hands of auspicious hands of His Highness Governor P. Koshyarji for outstanding work during COVID-19 pandemic in December 2020. Sir has been also awarded with Best Paper Award for paper presentation at Mahatma Gandhi Ayurved Mahavidyalaya, Datta Meghe Deemed University. Sir has been also awarded for outstanding work in medical field by Thane Municipal Corporation in 2012. Sir is also worked as an organizer for workshop on colposcopy at Dr. D.Y. Patil College of Ayurveda, Nehru in 2015. He has been also organizer for workshop on Uttar at Nalasopara Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya in 2016. Sir was one of the organizing members in Supraja workshop in 2019, which was held at Are Poddar Ayurvedic Medical College. Sir was also organizing member of Yoshida 2020 workshop at Hyderabad. Sir has also organized various medical camps in the interiors of Thane district. He has worked in medical camps at Sangli and Kolhapur districts during the flood calamity in August 2020. So I hereby welcome the most dynamic and experienced speaker, Dr. Samir Golab sir. Here is yours. Over to you, Dr. Samir Golab sir.
Thank you, Dr. Amit. Am I audible now? Am I audible to everyone? Amit sir,
Yes,
I am
sir.
audible to everyone. Me audible hai?
Yes, sir. You are.
Audible.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
yes,
okay.
audible.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dr. Mangesh Patil sir, my PhD guide, my guru, Dr. Ashish Punde sir, and Dr. Amit sir, who are the directors of Ayurshala. And I am very much thankful and I am obliged by Dr. Mangesh Patil sir for giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts on normal and abnormal purperium from text to practice. This is my college, SMBT Medical College. It is at Nandi Hills, Igatpuri. This is our college campus view, which we have clicked exactly last year when this pandemic started. The pictures were captured by drone. This is our college building. This is our campus. So now our topic, Suthikavastha, that is normal and abnormal purperium from text to practice. Well, this topic is very close to my heart. This topic is very important for the practitioners, for the teachers, for the students as well. Because one long question, one short question is yet is it comes on this topic. Plus, it is a very common topic. which every practitioner who is having hospital, and this Sutika problems are very much common. So this topic is very very important. This lecture I am going to cover the text part, that is the conceptual part of Sutika, plus normal Sudhika Paricharya and Vikrut Sudhika Paricharya as well. Suta, that is in Medini, Suta Utpattau Prasave Jadanam, Sutika Sadhya Prasutayaha Striyam, that is Vaidyakiya Vaidyak Nigantu. This is the Nirukti of Sutika. There are various words which are used for the Sunika synonym, such as Prasuta, Jata Santana, Jatapatya, Prajata, and Prasudika. They are explained in Amarkosh. What is Sutika? There are again different terms which are used by our acharyas. Sutika Prajata, which is used by Charakacharya. Sutaka and Prajata is used by Sushrutaracharya, and Vagbhatacharya said Sutaka and Suta. The definition of Sutika is very important. Sutayashapi tatra syad apara chetna nirgata sutapi na sutastri bhavattevam gate sati. It means the Sutika is called as a Sutika after the expansion of the placenta. Aparat Chetna Nirgata. Till the time the placenta is not expelled from the uterus, even if she is Prasuta, she is not called Sutika. Uh, uh, Sutaishapi Tatra Syad Aparat Chetna Nirgata. Sutastri Bhavet Evam Gate Sati. So after the expulsion of a placenta, she is called Sutika. This is explained by Kashyapacharya. Now, how much period we call this as a Sutika Kal? So different things have been there. Some acharyas called 45 days. In Ashtangarodaya, it is called 6 weeks. Kashyapacharya has said again 6 weeks, 6 months. They will explain. Kashyapacharya. Charakacharya has not given any different period for this Sutika. Vagbhatacharya has given 45 days or until she gets her first menstrual cycle after the labor. Kashyapacharya has given the period of 6 months. And in case of Prasuti Vyapad or Muda Garbha, that is Akala Prasav or Garbhapat or Garbhastrav, the Sutika Kala is supposed to have been of the 4 months. Now, Purperium. What is Purperium? It is called childbirth. The word is derived from Latin language. It is Purpurus. It is the noun form of Purpurus. That is the woman in the labor. It is adjectival form of Purpura. That is a woman in her childbed. From pure, that is pur, pure, that means boy, and perio means I bear a boy. So that stage of a woman is called purperium. Therefore pure child, paras means bearing, the woman bearing a child is called purperium. Purperium is a period of confinement during and after the birth. This is very important. Normal purperium, period following the childbirth, during which the body tissues, especially pelvic organs, they revert back approximately to the pre-pregnant stage, both anatomically and physiologically. This definition is very much important. The duration, which I have said, so there are three categories which we had made for this Sutika. One is immediate, that is within 24 hours. Early, that is up to 7 weeks. And next is a remote, that is up to 6 weeks, 7 days and 6 weeks. What are the aims and objectives of the postnatal care? What are the aims and objectives of the Sudhika Paricharya? Number one is prevention of infection, a prevention of incidence of excessive bleeding. Because after the body needs the relief in the body pains and weakness, it supports the involution, enhancing the production of the breast milk, correcting the digestive troubles such as Advana, Atopa, Agdimandya, all the things which are connected in the Mahasrotas with respect to Sutika, repairing and toning up of the muscles, because Dhatu Kshay, Vata Prakop is there. There is a Arsa Kshay, Rakta Kshay, and a Mas Dhatu Kshay. So three type of Dhatu Kshaya we see. So that is why repairing and toning up the muscles again is important in the Sutika. Ayurveda gives its importance to the care of the mother and her baby at every phase of her life under antenatal care and postnatal care. So the care of the mother and the care of the garbha is very important in Garbhini Paricharya as well as Sutika Paricharya. In Ayurveda, Kashyap Samhita has mentioned 74 Sutika Vyadhi, which includes Sutika Katishul and as a Sutika disease. Now, this I am telling you to have the importance of Sukha Prasava. If you have Sukha Prasava, again there won't be any maternal morbidity. If there is a Vikruta Prasav, which is the study done by KM Patel College, KM Patel Institute of Physiotherapy, what they have found that the prevalence of postpartum back pain in women with section is 56%. It is much high, and the prevalence of postpartum back pain with a woman in a woman with normal vaginal delivery is only 33%. This means the quality of life or the maternal morbidity is much lower in the cases of vaginal delivery as compared to the cesarean section. Prevalence of back pain is higher in postpartum women with section. Also, maternal morbidity and Sutika Vyadhi. The chances of getting Sutika Vyadhi is much higher in case of postpartum woman with a section as compared to normal delivery. So this proves our concept of Sukha Prasava and importance of normal vaginal delivery. That is Sukha Prasava with respect to normal, with respect to maternal morbidity. The reason of Sutika Vyadhi is Pratilomit Apanavayu. Again, these are some articles which highlight the importance of Sukha Prasava and maternal morbidity. I will come to the conclusion. The prevalence of low back pain is higher in postpartum women with section. The quality of life is better in postpartum woman with normal vaginal delivery with section, and the disability level is again lower in postpartum woman with normal vaginal delivery as compared to the woman with section. Again, this is one of the research paper. We'll go ahead. Conclusions. Again, we know life-threatening conditions such as anemia, puerperal sepsis, severe hypertension, secondary PPH is again more. That is 7.6% in a woman having section. A large proportion of women also suffered from less serious morbidities, which takes a toll on the woman's day-to-day performance. Hence, it is essential that the health program should make the investment in provide postpartum care to all the women starting from the first week so that the conditions can be diagnosed, can be detected early and managed in the time. This is the especially important for the for those who are delivering at home. So home delivery should not be encouraged to prevent the maternal morbidities. Now coming to the Sutika Paricharya, what are the components of postnatal care? Which are the things we should we look? Attention immediately after the labor, that is number one. Ambulation and rest, diet, care of the bladder, care of the bowel, perineum care, wound care, care of the breast, asepsis and antisepsis. Again, we have advised Sutika Kar for this, that is isolation. We find nowadays we are realizing the importance of isolation and home isolation in this COVID era. Why it is important? Just to prevent ourselves from this septic era of COVID era. Same things our Acharya has advised to isolate the parturient woman just to prevent her from the all types of infections. Next is immunization and rejuvenation. Physiological considerations of Sutika. When we examine a Sutika, which are the things which we should examine? Very important is the pulse and temperature. If she is having Sutika Jwar or any Sutika Vyadhi, then definitely the pulse will be higher and the temperature will be more. Weight of the Sutika, it should be around the less before delivery. After delivery, the weight loss is generally 1 or 2 kgs. Loss of diuresis, sorry, weight loss. The next component is diuresis. Diuresis is physiological. It is very common in the Sutika. It is to um, take out all the toxins of the body, and it is the increase. It shows the increased renal activity of the Sutika. Care of the bowel, again, it is important. Constipation or malavrot, again, it is a sign of apanavayu, pratilomit apanvayu. So, virechan or murdu virechan is always advised in the Sutika Paricharya. Involution of uterus. We'll be highlighting this point. This is a very important point. What is involution of the uterus? How we should examine, and how it is related to the Sudhika Paricharya and Sudhika Vyadhi. Next is local discharge. Local discharge is again very important. The smell, the color is again very important. If it is a normal smell, that is a normal. But if it is a Kunapa Grandhi or a Vistra Gandhi, of it is foul smell, again it is an indication of any pelvic pathology. Again, it is associated with severe pain in abdomen, and it is associated with fever. So local discharge is one of the very important sign. It is an indication of yoni dushti, and again which is a cause of, again it is a cause of Sutika Vyadhi and Sutika Jwara. So local discharge is very important. Menstruation and ovulation. As we have said, ki feeding, breastfeeding, it controls the ovulation. It is a natural method of contraception. That is lactational amenorrhea, what we see in case of Sutika, which prevents ovulation, and again it is a natural method of contraception. Next is perineal care. Many times we see perineal tear, vaginal tear, cervical tear, or any injury to the vagina. Now, as per the concepts of Ayurveda, it is of Travarta this Sandushti. So any tear in the Prathamavarta, Dvitiyavarta should be attended. We should attend. Very uh, the attention should be given, and the paricharya of that vrana has to be taken at the earliest. Personal hygiene, that all we know. Local hygiene and daily taking bath, again it is very important, and the care of the breast, it is again very important. What are the problems, practical problems which are encountered in Sutika? There are two types of problems what we can categorize them. One are immediate problems what we see in the OPD, in the IPD, and one are the intermediate problems. Now we'll go ahead with one by one. One is exhaustion. Exhaustion is because of excessive pravahan in the process of delivery, because of the labor pains. Naturally, the woman gets exhausted, she gets tired, a lot of fatigue is there, again vata prakop is there, and because of that, exhaustion is a very common symptom what we see in the Sutika. Giddiness, blackouts, again this symptom is because of excessive straining, weakness, and again because of vata prakopa we see giddiness. Vomiting, sometimes occasionally we have vomiting, bleeding per vaginum, hematoma at the site of the episiotomy wound, or sometimes there's a tear. Hematoma is again very common symptom. Or retention of urine, again all the symptoms are because of apanavata dushti. As we know, apano apanagaha, shroni basti medu rugocharaha, shukra artava shakurun mutra, garbha nishkraman kriya. So Shukra, Artava, Shakurun, Mutra, Garbha Nishkraman Kriya. All the things are under control of Apana Vayu, and if any Vikruti of Apana Vayu is there, all the things we are bound to see, right from retention of urine, Malavarodha, Admana, Atop, all the things, and pain in the abdomen, Udarashul, all the things we are going to bound to see in case of Sutika. Pain in the wound, as we said, episiotomy wound again, it is common. It is painful if it is not sutured properly. Feeding difficulties. If it is a navaprasuta, again it is very difficult for her to how to feed the child. She may have numerous problems with feeding the child. One of them is the Sutika Katishul, and now comes the intermediate problems. Intermediate problems. One of the main problem what we see is abdominal pain. That is the Udarishul. Udarishul again is because of Pratilomit Apan Vayu, and again it is maybe associated with Malavrodha or may not be Malavrodha, but cramps will be there. Maybe associated with constipation, Malavrodha or not. Pain in the episiotomy wound, maybe may not be. Inadequate lactation. Lactation is one of the very important feature because the child needs that lactation. If it is improper, you may have um, abscesses in the breast or the malnutrition of the child. So the problems of inadequate lactation will be with the mother also and for the child also. Inadequate lactation along with cracked nipple, breast enlargement, what we see, infection which leads to sepsis, that is puerperal infection which we are going to see in detail, which is very important to be addressed. UTI, that is infection in the tract, genital tract. Thrombophlebitis, episiotomy wound gapping is one of the very common complication. What are the late issues? Secondary PPH, puerperal sepsis, fistulas, venous thrombophlebitis, embolism, wound problems of the section wound, and breast abscesses. These are the late issues of the Sutika. Postnatal care in Ayurveda is broadly described in Ayurvedic classics and they are called as the Sutika Paricharya. Ancient Ayurvedic scholars have given great importance to women's health during the entire pregnancy for a healthy progeny until 6 months after the delivery. The care of the Sutika is compared to the walking with old buildings, that is, general building. The line of the puerperal management, we have said, some shlokas are there. Sutika bala tailobhyaktam, vata hara aushadam, kwathen upacharet. सशेष दोषांतुम तदहम पिप्पली पिप्पली मूल पिप्पली चित्रग शृंगवेर चूर्णम गुडोदके उष्णे means Sutika is will be Sutika has been called as a sashesha doshanam. After the delivery, some dosh they they remain in the uterus, they remain in the garbhashaya, which is the main cause of this Sutika Vyadhi. So Sashesha Doshana means to remove those doshes, to those doshas is the aim of the Sutika Paricharya. Once those doshas are not there in the uterus, in the Garbhashaya, there won't be any Sutika Vyadhi. Now, these are the comparison of Burotrais, Charakacharya, Shrutacharya, and Vagbhatacharya. Abhyanga Snehapanavid Yevagu, uh, Upakunchika, Panchakola, Churna Siddha Jala, Acharya advice, Udara Veshtana, then Yavagu Pana Sevan, all these things, Jangala Masala Seven has been told by our Acharyas. Bhava Prakash has said, Hita Ahara Vihara, Vyayam, Krodha Vivaya, there is abstinence from sex, Krodha, Shita Sevana Varjana. Shita Jalapan has been contraindicated in Sutika. Daily massage and Svedana for 1 month. Snehan and Svedan are indicated by Acharya Bhava Prakash. Yoga Ratnakara has advised that immediately after the delivery, vaginal care should be compressed. Vaginal canal should be compressed to avoid the entry of the air. Because they say entry of the air, again, it is the cause of the Sutika Vyadhi. So, vaginal packing has been advised by Yoga Ratnakara. Principles in the management of Sutika Paricharya, as we know, it should be Deepana, Pachana, Yoni Shodhana, Vedana Shamaka, Vranaropana, Vatanuloman, Stanya Janam, and Balavruddhi. These are the principles of the Sutika Paricharya. Haritacharya has said Kashayapan, Lodhra, Arjun, Kadamba, Bijak, Devadaru. All these things are been for the Rakta Vruddhi, Rakta Shodhana and Yoni Shodhana. Yoni Purana with oil, Abhyanga and Svedana. So Yoni Rakshan, Yoni Puran. Again, it is advised uh, in the Sutika. Then the second day with morning with Nagara Haritaki and good seven has advised by Haritacharya. And in the afternoon he has advised Kulatha Yushapan. Third day Panchakol Siddha Yavagu. Fourth day Chaturjata Mishrit Yavagu. And from fifth day Shali Anna 7 till 10th or the 15th day. This is a exclusive Paricharya has been advised by Haritacharya. Individualized Paricharya has been advised by Kashyapacharya. So he has not given any specific Paricharya, but he has advised that as per the Desha, Dushya, Kala, Satmya, and the sex of the child, he has advised the Sutika Paricharya. So it's of two types, Samanya Paricharya and Vishishta Paricharya. Samanya Paricharya, again, he has advised Abhyanga, Mardan, Pattabandhan, Yonisnehan, Yonisvedan. Then hot water should be given, followed by rest. And Dhupana Chikitsa. Dhupan Chikitsa, again, it is very important. It is by Kushtha, Aguru, and Gugulu mixed with the Gruta. So Yoni Dhupan, again, it is advised. In our ancient days, we used to call Shek Shegdi in Marathi. So in that Sutika, after this delivery, they used to have the Shek Shegdi and we used to use Kushtha, Aguru, and we used to have the Dhupana of the Yoni. An internal administration, that is Manda 7, Snehapan, Sneha Lavan Yukta Yavagu 7 has been advised by our Acharyas. In Vishishta Paricharya, Vishishta Paricharya is as per the Desha, that is Anupa, Jangala Desh, Sadharan Desh, and Vishesha Jati. As per the caste and creed, they have advised some different Paricharyas to the Sutika. In Kumari Prasava, there is a Snehana with the help of Taila, and in the case of Kumara Prasava, is a Grutapan Prayog has been advised by our Acharya. In case of Plaincha, there is Gandamula Phala, Mausarasa, according to their Satmya, because they are Deha Satmya and Desha Satmya. So, because of that, Acharya must have given this specific Paricharya to them. And again, he has given us the freedom to change the diet and Aushadhis as per the Kula Satmya. At All India Institute of Ayurveda, the research has been done as per the Sudhika Paricharya. In India, we have got so many people, so many castes, so many creeds, and so many people are there. Like some people are working in Kerala, some are in Tamil Nadu, in Maharashtra, Gujarat. So in every state, there is a different Paricharya is there. All India Institute of Ayurveda that worked for almost 3 years, and they come up with Sutika Paricharya, which has been approved by our Department of Ayush. And that Sutika Paricharya, they are following all the principles. They have accumulated all these fundas which every state has been using, and they have made this Sutika Paricharya. I have not seen yet, but it is on the way. The publication is on the way. As soon as we'll get all these teachers will get, will definitely share with all the practitioners. Patya of Sutika, these things Jiraka, Lasuna, Ajboda, and Methika, Sadapatya in Sutika Paricharya. Gudodaka Pan, Dhanyak Pan, Pimpali Trikatu, Trijatam. Udgayush, Kulathayush, again it is advised. Udara Western, this is abdominal belt, lumbosacral belt, which is advised for Sutika. The benefits are Shunya Avakashatvat, because after the Garbhanishkraman, there is a Shunya Avakash. A vacuum is created. Whenever there is a vacuum, always there is a Vata Prakop. To prevent that Vata Prakop and to support the pelvic girdle and to strengthen the abdominal muscles, this belt or Udara Veshtana has been advised by our Acharyas. And Snana, that is Vata Harapatra, that is Erenda, Erenda Patra, Siddha Jala, is advised for Snana. Apatya, sexual intercourse, again it is contraindicated for minimum 3 months. Physical, mental stress, anger, that is मानसस्तु, रोग, क्रोध, शोक, भय, udvega, vishada, all these monovikar are there. That has to be controlled, or you should have a control on these things. Cold water, cold wing, shita jala, shita vayu, and shita vastu. These three things should be contraindicated, should be avoided. Again, there's a contraindication of panchakarma in the sutika. Administration of Asthapana Basti. If there is a Amadoshas are there, as per the Avas of the Sutika, it can be advised. Nasya Karma, anorexia, again, it can be advised, again, as per the Sutika Avastha. Perineal care, again, it is important. Jatyadi Tela, paste of Kumari and Haridra, fumigation with Aguru, Kushtha and Nimba, Gugulu, Panchavalkala, Kalpana Panchavalkala Kashaya, again, it is used for the Yoni Dhavana. Paste of nimba, madhu and ghee. Again, it is important for the perineal care, perineal tear, or any type of wound. Now, postnatal exercise. We always follow Garbha Samskar, prenatal exercise, some exercise which are again indicated for the Sutika as per her Bala, neck exercise, abdominal exercise, pelvic tilt. These are the very important exercise. Arm raising. What are the advantages of exercise? To minimize the risk of the puerperal venous thrombosis. Puerperal venous thrombosis is, we say, in 1 or 2% in Sudhikavastha. Second is to prevent the backache. It is very important to prevent the genital prolapse and stress incontinence of the urine, to regain the strength of the abdominal muscles, to remove the fat from the abdominal and other regions. Yogasanas are advised if it is normal delivery 1 to 2 months, and if it is section, then we don't advise any yogasanas. After 6 months, we advise the patient for asanas. These are different asanas which can be practiced in case of samanya prasav, not in vikrut prasav. In samanya prasava, these are the asanas which can be practiced by the sutika. What are the benefits of the sutika paricharya? एवं गर्भ गर्भवृद्धि क्षपित शिथिल सर्व धातु means all those dhatus of our body, they are kshapita and shithil, they become laxed. Sarva dhatu pravahana vedana, because she has to undergo tremendous pravahana vedana, those of labor pains. Kleda rakta nistruta, during the process of the labor there is a discharge of kleda rakta nistruta vishesha shunya shariratvacha punarnavi bhavati. This is as good as the second life after the Sutika. So it is called Kleda Rakta Nistruta Vishesha Shunya Shariratvacha. It is a special word which has been used by our acharyas. Like Shunya Shariratvacha Punarnavi Bhavati. The body is rejuvenated, it becomes new. That is why the Sutika Paricharya has to be followed. So again, the points: Dhatu Paripurnata, Stanya Utpatti, Stana Sampatti, Sana Sampat, Garbhashaya Shuddhi. That's we have seen Sashesha Doshanam. So Garbhashaya Shuddhi is very important in Sudhika Paricharya. So the drugs which we use in Sudhika Paricharya are Tikshna and Ushna. So like for example Panchakola. So drugs are used for the Garbhashaya Shuddhi, prevention of complications, and Punarnavikarana. Punarnavi Bhavati. Like Ashtanga Sangra, it is said Punarnavikarana. That is important. In case of some special cases in the purperium in Sutikavastha, that is a post-abortal management. That is Garbhasrava Paschat Sutika Paricharya. What is important is counseling. There is a loss of the fetus or the child. Care of multiple pregnancy. In case of Yama pregnancy, that is a twin pregnancy or triplets. Again, there's a lot of counseling is required for the woman. In case of placenta previa, There are some cases which are advised. There's a different paricharya has been advised in adherent placenta, care of care after LSCS, that is for section, and after the forceps delivery. So these are the various avastha where special Sutika Paricharya has been advised by our acharyas. Ayurveda diet after the section, the adopt modified Samsajan Karma. So Samsajan Karma which has been advised in our Sutika Paricharya, it should be modified. Same we cannot advised to the Sutika in case of section. So Manda Peya, Peya Kurta, Yush, Rasa, Draksha Siddha Jala, Trifalakvat, Ajmoda Siddha Jal has been advised in case of section. Abnormal, this one, Purperium, which is explained over by Acharyas by Dushprajatadhyaya, that is after a Muda Garbha Nirhan, Sutika Vyadhi, this is abnormal Purperium has been advised. Next is PPH. PPH, again we asked in our Vivas whether PPH has been explained in our text or not. So in Kashyap Samhita, Jatasutriya Adhyaya, it is very much explained. Suteher Urudhvam, Tuye Strava, Tanindatan, Shamay Tutan, Tasya Asyam Avastham Upachayat Devata. So Acharya has been said कि whatever discharge, whatever strava in the Sutika Arbit there, it is a nindit, it is a it has been condemned that strav. It should be Shamay Tutan, means has been we should give importance to those strava and Tasyam Avastham Upachayat Devata. So praying of the gods has been advised by our acharyas. Can we do something else for this thing? So vaginal packing with Sphatika Siddha Jala has been excellent results. And Sandhanam, Skandanam, Pachanam and Dahanam or these four kriyas has been advised that we can practice in Chaturvida Upaya, which has to stop the bleeding. So these things can be practiced in um, Sutika. Next common complication is Sutika Jvara, which has been explained by our acharyas in Kashyap Samhita. The gold standard treatment or very famous kalpa is Pratap Lankeshwaras, which contains Parak and Gandhaka Kajjali. Sutika Jvar, this Pratap Lankeshwaras, any Yoni Dushti. Now we have done the research in our when we were doing our PG. In case of Yoni Dushti or Yoni Strav is there, this Pratap Lankeshwaras has found to be extremely important, extremely effective. सुताभ्रगंधो क्षणलोह शंख वन्योत्पला भस्मं विषम च पिष्टम एकेन्दु चंद्रा नलवार्दिदंती कलैक भागो क्रमशो विमश्रम सुताभ्रगंधो क्षणलोह शंख वन्योत्पला भस्मं विषम च पिष्टम. दॅट इज जंगली गौऱ्या ज्या असतात त्याच्यामध्ये इट इज 16 parts इट इज युज्ड इन द प्रतापनाकेश्वरस. एनी टाइप ऑफ योनिदृष्टी whether it is related with sutika or non sutika, even if it is yonidushti, Pratap Lankeshwar is found to be very extremely important, very much effective. It controls the upper vaginal strava along with the discharge. Whatever discharge there has been controlled effectively by with the help of Pratap Lankeshwar. And secondly, it contains Vatsanab. So it is again used for the Sudika Jwar. It is extremely good antipyretic also. Sanyuttha Piyusha Samshuddhi, that is if there's a problem with the lactation, that Sanya Shodhan or those Kwatha has to be used in case of Sanyuttha Jwar. Sahasradi Kwat, Sparshakadi Kwat, Hiberadi Kashai, which are the other medicines which are advised by our acharyas in case of Sutika Jwara. Now this is important. Puerperal pyrexia, a rise of temperature which is more than 100 degrees or more in two separate occasions in 24 hours apart, excluding first 24 hours within first 10 days following delivery is called puerperal pyrexia. What are the causes of puerperal pyrexia? Puerperal sepsis, urinary tract infection, and mastitis. These three are the very important causes of puerperal pyrexia. Infection of cesarean section, wound, pulmonary infection, recurrence of malaria, pulmonary tuberculosis. Again, very important. Puerperal sepsis. What is puerperal sepsis? An infection of the genital tract which occurs as a complication of delivery is termed as a puerperal sepsis. Any infection of the genital tract is called puerperal sepsis. This is the picture of the inflamed uterus. You can see. Nowadays, there's a marked decline in puerperal sepsis cases because of the improved obstetric care. The percentage of home deliveries are much less. We are always encouraging hospital care, hospital delivery, and availability of wide range of antibiotics. Again, the percentage of the puerperal sepsis has gone down considerably. Common cause of sepsis: endometritis, endomyometritis, endoparametritis, Garbhashaya and Garbhashay Shoth. It is very much common cause of puerperal sepsis. Again, in this picture, you can see endometritis, inflamed endometrium. The organisms which call so many organisms can cause this infection: Clostridium welchii, aerobic, anaerobic, streptococcal bacteria that can cause this puerperal infection. Pathological factor for the vaginal flora: the cervicovaginal mucous membrane is damaged even in normal delivery, and the uterine surface too, especially at the placental site. So where that placenta gets detached from the endometrium, that is a common site of puerperal infection. It is converted into an open wound by the separation of the placenta, which takes place during the third stage of labor. So that is again very important. Separation of placenta, which causes a raw area for the invasion of the bacteria. The blood clots, which are present in the placental sites, are the excellent medium for the growth of the bacteria. So, Sashesha doshanam is this: whatever bacteria, whatever clots which are present at the placental sites, they act as a curvaegunia, which gives a site for the growth of the bacteria, and again, which is the cause of the puerperal sepsis or puerperal infection. What are the antepartum factors for the puerperal infection? Again, we have seen malnutrition and anemia. 40% of Garbhini Paricharia, the woman what we see in our SMBT college, majority of the patients what we come are the farmers. The hemoglobin is always 4 to 5 and 6, less than 6. So again, this anemia, that is Garbhini Pandu, has to be treated aggressively. Otherwise it becomes the main cause of the maternal morbidity. Second is preterm labor, that is Kala Purva Prasav. Any prasava which is happening before 9 months is called preterm labor. Again, it is the cause of the puerperal fever, puerperal pyrexia, or Sutika Vyadhi. Premature premature rupture of membranes. If the membranes are ruptured prematurely, again it gives excellent source of the infection, and again which is the cause of the puerperal pyrexia. HIV, chronic debilitating illnesses, prolonged rupture of membranes, that is a dirgha prasava, that is more than 18 hours. Again, it is the cause of the puerperal fever, puerperal infection, and again diabetes is a comorbid condition. What are the intrapartum factors? Which are the factors which are what we see in the labor? That is a repeated vaginal examination, like in medical colleges. Every vaginal examination which has been done by students or interns, just to see the onset or the labor progress. Again, it is the cause of the puerperal infection because we are introducing infection. Traumatic operative delivery, that is vacuum delivery or forceps delivery, retained piece of the placental sides of the membrane. If Garbhashaya Shodhana is not done properly, then whatever the tissues which are there in the uterus, they are the they become the source of the infection. Prolonged labor, that is dirgha labor which is more than 1 day, 2 to 3 days, cause of the it cause exhaustion to the woman, and again it is the cause of the it becomes the predisposing factor for the Sujika Jwara, hemorrhage, excessive bleeding, and section. Puerperal infection is a wound infection. The primary sites of the infection are perineum, that is the Prathamavarta, vagina, cervix, and the uterus. All the three avartas of the Garbhashaya are the cause of the infection. Whatever wound is there in Prathamavarta, Dvitiyavarta, and in the uterus, it becomes the cause of the infection. These are the primary sites of the infection. Perineum, as we know, laceration of the perineum is likely to get infected. The wound edges become red and swollen. There may be collection of purulent discharge, which results in the complete disruption of the wound. Vagina, as we know, vaginal laceration, vaginal tears, which are infected directly or by the extension of the perineal infection. The mucosa is swollen, hyperemic, which results into necrosing and a sloughing that we see in the lochia. Cervix, cervix become cervical laceration, cervical tears become the site of the infection. In the case of uterus, uterus is the most common site of the infection. Decidua, that is placental site, is commonest site and the infection. It starts from that residua first. It manifests during the third and the sixth day of the delivery. Spread of the infection, there is a pelvic cellulitis, the cause of exudation or the formation of the indurated mass confined to one side of the uterus. Salpingitis, that is a lymphatic spread, the infection of the fallopian tube and ovaries with the formation of tubo-ovarian mass. Peritonitis, localized pelvic abscess. Thrombophlebitis, as we have discussed earlier, ovarian vein of the one side is usually involved, uterine vein may be involved, suppuration and embolism to other organisms, septicemia, pyemia. These are the rare, these conditions are very much rare with the advancement of the potent antibiotics that we have to accept. What are the clinical features? Sutika Paricharya, when we see a Sutika having puerperal fever, what are the clinical features? One is local infection and one is the infection in the uterus. Local infection, we see the rise in the temperature, generalized malaise, shirishul, katishul, angamarda, these are the commonest complaints. Redness and the swelling of the local wound, pus formation and disruption of the wound. In the uterus, we see the infection is mild, pyrexia of variable degree, tachycardia, red copious offensive lochia, that is Sutika strav. It is infected, it is red, it is painful, it is offensive, and sometimes you may have subinvoluted or tender or soft uterus. In case of severe infection, there's a fever with chills, there's a Sutika jwara, rapid pulse, scanty or odorless lochia, the lochia becomes less, and subinvoluted uterus. Per abdomen, when we see the uterus has to come down as a pelvic organ, but sometimes it is not. So with this condition, we call this as a subinvolution of the uterus. Sustained rise in the temperature, 7th to 10th day, constant pelvic pain, tenderness on the either side of the hypogastrium, unilateral tender mass which is felt on the vaginal examination. Pelvic peritonitis. Again, we see pyrexia with increased pulse rate, lower abdominal pain and the tenderness, collection of the pus in the pouch of Douglas. Generalized peritonitis, more or less same features we see. More what we see is abdominal pain. There is a lot of udar shul, and the abdomen is tender and distended. That is adman and atopa, along with udar shul, with vomiting. These are the signs of the peritonitis. Thrombophlebitis, again what we see, swinging fever with chills and rigors, signs of pyemia, septicemia, high fever with rigors, rapid pulse. Again, it is a serious condition. Mental confusion with positive culture reports. Sometimes we see the infection in the lungs, meninges, or the joints also. Investigations, blood test, blood culture test, antibiotic sensitivity of that vaginal swab is advised. Urine routine, complete blood count, CBC, culture if the infection is suspected. USG, again, it is a gold standard investigation which gives us the pinpoint diagnosis, that is retained placenta, pelvic peritonitis, or pelvic abscess. All these things have been diagnosed with the help of ultrasonography. Again, bacterial study, blood culture, we have seen. X-ray, blood for malarial parasite, which is common in Mumbai. Next is subinvolution. What is subinvolution? When the involution is impaired or retarded, it is called subinvolution. What are the causes of subinvolution? Grand multiparity. In case of uh, fourth para, fifth para, sixth para, again the uterus becomes lazy. It doesn't come down to its normal position. So grand multiparity is the one of the commonest cause. Twins or hydropneos, maternal ill health, cesarean section, prolapse of the uterus, and uterine fibroid. These are the common causes of the subinvolution of the uterus. What are the symptoms? That is abnormal local discharge with excessive or prolonged bleeding, irregular bleeding from the uterus, irregular cramps in the pain, that is udarshul or yonistrava, and written products or rise in the temperature. In sepsis, that is the sutika jwar, is one of the very common symptoms what we see. In signs, the uterine height is greater than the normal height for that particular day of the puerperium. It feels boggy and softer. Presence of features that are responsible for the subinvolution may be evident, like multiparity. Management, appropriate therapy has to be instituted when the subinvolution is found to be a major sign of some local pathology. See, subinvolution is a sign. It can be a sign of some local pathology. And the management again includes a good antibiotic, exploration of uterus, that is soft curettage is advised in case of the written products. Pessaries in prolapse or retroversion. UTI, again it is very common. Urinary tract infection. Again it is the most common, the reason is Vegavarod. So Mutra Vegavarod is one of the commonest cause of UTI what we see. So we should always advise Sutika whenever is finding the urge to pass the urine, she should be encouraged to go and to pass the urine. Again, this slide is important, which will show ascending pyelonephritis, and the bacteria from the bladder they are ascending and they're ascending through the ureter, and they cause infection in the kidneys. So that's called pyelonephritis. Positive organisms, as we know, E. coli, Klebsiella, Staphylococcal aureus. Other causes, cystitis, pilates. So there is a predisposing factors, like if the Garbini is having some infection in the um, bladder, again that becomes a predisposing factor. Again, the incidence is 1 to 5% of all the deliveries. Diagnosis confirmed by the simple urine test or urine culture. Management, adequate drainage of the urine, appropriate antibiotic therapy, high fluid intake, prevention of Sutika Vyadhi, That is Yogaraj Gul, for example, Pratap Lankeshwar Rasa, Trifala, Sutika Dashmul Kwatha, Sutika Bharan Ras. Mangesh sir has done a lot of work on Sutika Bharan Ras. Common Sutika Vyadhis, as we know, which has been explained by Dushprasad Adhyaya in Kashyap Samhita, Mutra Sangha, Pandu, and we can see the reasons, that is the Hetu and the systems involved. Some are localized, some are generalized, some are related to digestive, that is Mahasrotas, Vyadhis. Stress engorgement, again, it is very common and very important. It happens due to exaggerated normal venous and lymphatic engorgement. It prevents the escape of the milk from the lacteal system. Incidence in primates, it is very common. We don't see in multiparents. The onset is from the third or fourth day postpartum. Third or fourth day Sutika, we see breast enlargement. Heaviness in the breast, as we know, malaise, Sutika Jwara, full feeding in the breast. So, Sanyotha Jwara, which has been explained by our acharyas. Prevention. So, avoid prelactal feeding. Initiate breastfeeding only when it is initiate breastfeeding early and unrestricted exclusive feeding to the child and feeding on demand whenever the child wants. It should be given the breastfeeding and feeding in correct position, that is important. Lying down is again not advised. Sitting down is the proper position. Treatment: breast supports manual expression of the remaining milk after each feed. In severe condition, the breast pump has to be advised. Cracked nipples, again it is very common condition. It occurs due to loss of surface epithelium or due to fissure which is situated at the tip or the base of the nipple. Cause crust formation over the nipple due to unhygiene. So in Sudhika Paricharya, the importance has been given by our acharyas to Sana Paricharya also. The breast hygiene. Again, it is advised. Retracted nipple and trauma from the baby's mouth. It is one of the commonest cause. Excessive biting by the baby. It causes a small wound on the nipple, which causes retracted nipples. When it is a asymptomatic condition, whenever there is a feeding, the woman experiences extreme pain. After the feeding, the pain has gone. Prophylaxis, so local cleaning of the wound in the periperium before and after the each feeding. Local hygiene is important. Complications: mastitis, as we know, in the lower segment generally we see the mastitis. Treatment is again uh, immediate relief from the healing and the wound. Fresh human milk and saliva has gotten healing property. Breast pump in severe cases. Protoshodhana, Arogyavartini, Trifala Churna, 3 grams twice a day. Arogyavartini Vati, has found very important. Local application: Mogara oil paste, one of this local remedy which has found to be extremely important and extremely effective. In case of lactation failure, that is Stanyakshaya, Shatavari, Methi, Mukta Pishti, Vidari Kanda, Siddhajanan Gand has been explained by Charakacharya, has to be having good results. A recipe having papaya, lashuna, and ghee having good result in lactation failure, that is the Sanyakshay. And in Gujarat, they use katlu, this panchakol, ghee, panchakol, ghee, gud, and chaturjat. The form is katlu. They use it in case of Sanyakshaya. Then comes very important postpartum depression. It is a very common condition which we found. In Ayurveda, it has been told as a Sutika Unmada, and the treatment we have given as a Koshtishodhana, Medya Rasayana, Brahmi Gruta. Counseling again is very important. In some Acharya has said, Deva Vyapashay Chikitsa, and some mantras had advised. Postpartum blues is again very important, which is a very common condition. We found this thing is in primaries, basically. It is a transient experience of tearfulness, anxiety, irritability, which are frequently seen in first few days after the delivery. In 70% women, we see postpartum blues, and they are resolved after the 10 days of delivery. So no specific treatment is needed for this. May be associated with disturbed sleep pattern, adaptation, and anxiety of the newborn baby. So that we must understand that Sutika is undergoing a lot of physiological hormonal changes in her body, which may be difficult for that Sutika to adopt those changes. And because of that, those behavioral changes, which are from mild to moderate, they are physiological changes. Reassurance and counseling is very much important. So, no specific treatment has been advised in this postpartum blues. Postnatal depression, again, it is associated with childbirth. It occurs from 8 to 15% of the women. Again, the severity, it varies from mild to moderate and sometimes to suicidal depression also. In rare cases, we see 50% there's a recurrence of subsequent pregnancies. The mother of the woman will say, गए डिलीवरी में भी वो ऐसे ही पागल की तरह बिहेव करती थी, तो ये हम लोगों को मालूम है कि वो ऐसे ही बिहेव करने वाली है. So like this, the recurrence again, it is very much common in subsequent pregnancies. The treatment, SSRI like sertraline has been shown a good result, but that's got to continue for 3 to 6 weeks after the delivery. Postnatal depression, as we have talked, in case of unmarried woman, it is very common. Again, in less age, like if the age is less than 20 years, more the chances of postnatal depression is there because that girl may not be able to cope up with the newborn child brought up by single parent. Again, it is very common. Poor prenatal support in the childhood, mental support, financial support is less in the childhood. Again, the woman may have postnatal depression. Poor relationship with the partner, every time quarrel and not having good relations with the partner, it is the cause of postnatal depression. Socially disadvantaged females are more prone for postnatal depression. Poor achievement educationally, low education, poor education, not achieve in the self-esteem. If there is no self-esteem, no confidence, again it is the cause of postnatal depression. Previous emotional problems, previous depressive illness, again it is the cause of. They are the risk factors of the postnatal depression. Puerperal psychosis, the percentage is very low, 0.1%. It is a severe mental disorder. As practitioners, we should diagnose this condition very early. It is a severe mental condition occurring in the first 4 weeks of the pregnancy. It is characterized by presence of irrational ideas and unusual reaction to the baby. Should be immediately referred to a psychiatrist and transfer to the mother and baby for a better care. 5% chances of risk of suicide is there, so it is a very important condition which should be diagnosed by doctors. 5% risk of the infanticide if not treated. Treatment which includes antidepressants, neuroepileptics, and sometimes electroconclusive therapy like ECTs has been advised in extreme cases. Infant feeding, again very important. The major physiological event of the puerperium is the established lactation. Now, why we should give? What are the advantages? What are the advantages of the lactation? The very important nutritional aspect of the breast milk. It contains many immunoglobulins to the child. It gives protection against the infection to the child. It helps in the neurological development of the child, helps to prevent atopic illnesses. It helps to reduce the risk of the diseases in later in the life. Risk it reduces the risk of the breast cancer. Effect of fertility, as we know, it gives natural contraception and effect on the obesity. If they don't feed the child, the chances of weight gain are higher. So breastfeeding is very much important. Ayurveda, many kalpas has been advised. Panchajira Paka, Nagarkhanda, Saubhagya Shunti, everybody we know. दशमूल सिद्ध, क्वाथ, पंचजीरक गुड़, जीरकादि मोदक, सुदिका विनोद रस, जीरकाद्यरिष्ट, दशमूलरिष्ट has been advised. These are सदापत्यकर द्रव्यास for the Sudika, Lashuna, Ajmoda, Haridra, Ajwain, Methika. Now some research works has been done in Sutika. In Mutra Guruchra, uh, Burad Dhatradi has been tried. The results are very much encouraging. Prevention of Sutika Makkal by oral administration of Katunimbadi Kwata by Devaikar Madam. These are some work. They are just taken some research papers. Effect of Aguru in Sutika Dhupa Sutika Avastha Dupana. Again, it is the results are very much promising. Most of the works they are focused on episiotomy wound care. Karpuradi Malaharam, which has been used with Haridra and ghee. Durvadi Tela in case of episiotomy. Management of episiotomy wound in Saptavinshati Gugulu. Again, it is having good results. Now, these are some pictures where the LEPAS has been advised and it is excellent wound healing. Surgical, again, it is very much useful in surgical site infection and gaping of the wound. Now, the conclusion the health of the Sutika, if lost, it can never be corrected, is a folklore telling. Indian tradition inherits the wealth of this through its ancestors and needs no special training. Everybody knows what has to be followed and Sutika Paricharya, how important it is. Sutika Paricharya, a rejuvenation, Shodhana, followed by Vatanulomana, Agnidipana is advised. Very important. Do intervene whenever required only and avoid unnecessary Bruhana therapy. Need to develop a standard Ayurveda protocol for contemporary Sutika Paricharya. The work already has been done, or it is they are working on it. They are following, they are making us a guidelines for Sutika Paricharya. Promising results of Ayurvedic medicines need to focus more in the field of Sutika Paricharya, and in the management of the Sutika Vyadi. Thank you very much. Any questions you can ask?
Thank you very much, sir. Nice and excellent and informative lecture. We will take a 1 minute break. We request all delegates if any queries regarding today's topic, please
Yeah.
put in the chat box.
गुरु शारोला बोला एक मिनिट.
Can we start, sir?
Yeah, you can start. I'm audible ना?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yeah. हे minimize करना. Minimize
First
कर. नहीं
question
close.
from
What I understood. No, there is no sharing. हाँ. Yeah. Can you see the chat box?
sir. I will take questions. You
Yeah.
just give the answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we start?
Yeah, you can start.
Okay, sir. First question from Dr. Trupti Gowli. What should be given for the constipation in Garbhini and Sutika?
In Garbhini, constipation again it is very common problem. As the Garbhini and Sutika both are contraindicated for Tikshna ya Virechana Karma. Both of them are contraindicated. We don't give any strong Virechana, but Murdu Virechan, that is advised for both Garbhini and for the Sutika. That is number one. Secondly, in the ninth month, we give Basti. Again, it is very useful for this constipation. In Sutika, Mrudu Virechan, like for example, Swadishya Virechan Churna, can be given along with Snehan. So, Snehana is advisable and Mrudu Virechana is advisable, is advised in Garbhini and Sutika.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Next question from Trupti Gowli. Please put some lights on bleeding piles in Garbhini and Sutika.
Piles, there's Arsha.
Yes.
Garbhini Arsha, again, it is a very common what we see. So, that local fermentation, seeds bath is advised. That is number one. Medicines we cannot give much because of Garbhavastha. That is number one. So, seeds bath is very important that we can give. And symptoms associated with Arsha, like for example, Astrava, that is bleeding piles is there, that has to be treated, and constipation. So associated problems with Arsha can be treated, but again we have to see Garbhavastha. Because of Garbhavastha, a lot of we don't get free hand to treat. Again, Tikshna Ushna Aushadhi has to be avoided, and Murdu Virechana, seeds bath, local fermentation are advised.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question from Dr. Bhavna. Please guide a treatment for postpartum thyroiditis.
Postpartum
Thyroiditis.
thyroiditis.
Huh.
Okay. Uh, this Vyadhi has not been explained in our Ayurveda. That is number one. Thyroiditis, we have to see the symptoms. So if it is hyperthyroidism or hypothyroidism, that we have to see first. And as per the symptoms, as per the lakshanas of the Sutika, we have to treat the patient. For that, for example, Medohar Gugulu, Panchanar Gugulu, Asanadi Kwat, Medohar Kashaya, these medicines has to be advised to the Sutika as per her symptoms.
Okay, sir. Nicely explained. Thank you, sir. Next question. What should be given to Sutika for headache developed due to Ratri Jagran?
In Jagran, especially in case of Sutika, Shirodhara is the best medicine, and Gogruta Nasya, because in Sutika, Shirashul is mostly Vata Pittaj, it is Pittanubandhi. So Pitta Shamak Chikitsa along with Vata Shamak Chikitsa. So Durvadi Ghruta Nasya and Shirodhara is advised to Sutika, which is having very good results.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Next question from Jejuli. What are the causes of oliguria in Sutika post LACS and what is what is its management?
Post LSS oliguria is very common. Mostly the lack of fluids, lack of intake, less fluid intake is one of the commonest cause of oliguria. That is number one. Secondly, predisposing factors like example UTI, which was there in the previous pregnancies or in the garbhini avastha. If at all some infection is there, that has to be seen number one. And very rarely what we see in the practice is early renal shutdown. So creatinine is very important and BUN. Two things has been we have to investigate the patient for creatinine and BUN. If they are on the rising size, it is a cause of acute renal failure in pregnancy in the Sutika. So that has to be treated. Any underlying infection, like on in that slide, what we see, ascending pyelonephritis is very much common and which causes oliguria. So oliguria is a symptom which is we have to see and the cause should be identified.
Okay,
And
sir. Nicely
in
explained.
in such cases, the use of Chandraprabhavati, Varunadikvat is having good results.
Thank you very much, sir. Next question from Dr. Rohan Narvekar. What medicine can be given internally for Shaithilya in Sutika?
शैथिल्य मीन्स अवयव शैथिल्य कि गर्भाशय शैथिल्य, whether it is related to गर्भाशय शैथिल्य, laxity.
Avayang,
Which one?
Avayav Shaithilya. Avayav.
अवयव, but which अवयव? गर्भाशय. In Sutika, the concept is there is a Masa Dhatukshaya, Arsa Dhatukshaya. So always, if we go through the Sutika Paricharya, there is a Balya Chikitsa. There is Ashwagandha, Shatavari Churna, and Balya Chikitsa has to be advised. Dhatu
Okay,
Balya
sir.
Chikitsa. हाँ.
Next question from Dr. Trupti. Which kalpas can be given for Mrudu Virechana in Garbhini and Sutika?
Swadishti Virichan Churna is very much common. Eranda Sneha we can give, again that is very common. So these are the kalpas which are we are having. They are having good results and they are safe in the pregnancy as well as they are safe in the Sutika as well.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Next question from postpartum में जो वेरिकोज वेन्स हो जाती है उसमें क्या
हाँ.
देना चाहिए?
पोस्टपार्टम वेरिकोज वेन्स में थ्रोम्बोफ्लेबाइटिस, ये जो लक्षण है, ये जो व्याधि है, ये बहुत कॉमन है. तो पोस्टपार्टम थ्रोम्बोफ्लेबाइटिस अभी जब भी हम लोग सीख रहे थे, जब भी मैं पीजी कर रहा था, तब एक मैंने पेशेंट हमने देखा था कि डिलीवरी के चौथे पांचवें दिन उसको बुखार आ गया. तो उस टाइम पे सोनोग्राफी का इतना ज़्यादा अभ्यास नहीं था और मशीन्स भी इतने अवेलेबल नहीं थे. तो वो पेशेंट को जब भी छठे या सातवें दिन पे सुतिका ज्वर आता है और पेल्विक एब्डोमेन पे, जैसे भी हमने उस मेरे स्लाइड में देखा था, थ्रोम्बोफ्लेबाइटिस और उदरशूल और कटिशूल, ये सब लक्षण अगर उसमें मिलते हैं तो स्टॉकिंग्स इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एलिवेशन ऑफ लेग्स ये भी उसमें इंपॉर्टेंट है. और काफ़ी बार हमने, जैसे भी वो पेशेंट के बारे में मैं कह रहा था, तो उसमें डीप वेन थ्रोम्बोसिस और बायलैटरल एब्सेस इन द थाइज वो उसको हुआ था. तो ऐसे पेशेंट्स में एक्चुअली लो मॉलिक्यूलर हिपेरिन जो हमने देना चाहिए, जो हम लोग देते हैं प्रैक्टिकली. और फ्लेबाइटिस में स्टॉकिंग्स और लेग एक्सरसाइज ये हम लोग करेंगे तो ये जो डीप वेन थ्रोम्बोसिस और थ्रोम्बोफ्लेबाइटिस की जो व्याधि है वो काफ़ी हद तक कंट्रोल में आनी चाहिए. इसमें डायग्नोसिस इज इम्पोर्टेंट. जितने जल्दी इसको डायग्नोस करेंगे वो उतना उसमें अच्छा रहता है.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. This one was the last question from our today's session. Very nice and informative lecture on normal and abnormal peripheral. We request please be with us in future program also. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Actually, puerperium is a very big topic. Whatever conditions what we say in our day-to-day practice, those are compiled. Otherwise, it's a very big lecture. तो जो हम प्रैक्टिकली जो बातें देखते हैं उसमें जो प्रैक्टिकली पेशेंट्स देखते हैं जो कॉमन कंडीशंस है वो कंपाइल करके हमने ये लेक्चर बनाया है इसमें. Thanks organizers for giving an opportunity to give a lecture. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. The session is end. So we request all the delegates, you can leave now.
Okay, thank you.